imagine that you've created a RunBook, and this RunBook does some really, really privileged things, some things that you just don't want all of the people who have access to Unscript to be able to do. For example, this RunBook here is called the Super Privileged RunBook, right? For whatever reason, this RunBook, if you run it, it will delete everything. Do not run this. It really just sends a Slack message, but this is for a demo. So what we can do is when you open up that page, the page here that describes your RunBook, you can click this button, and this button says it requires approval. In the videos on our access control, we'll talk about the different levels of access that different users have. And in this case, we will need another person with access to approve this RunBook to actually say, yeah, we can run this RunBook and actually delete everything. So what does that look like? So here in my list of RunBooks, I've done a search for the Super Privileged RunBook, and you can see that I can't run it. Like for most RunBooks, it'll say, run it. You can run it from right here, but I can't do it for the Super Privileged one. I need to request it. So I can say, hey, I need to request this. And it's like, this is really important. Thanks. Right? So now I've sent off a request. Hey, can somebody run this for me? We can come over here and we can look in the requests. Right? I have just put in a request today, April 10th at 5 o'clock that, hey, this is really important. Can you run this? Now, you might think, well, hey, you just asked for it. Why don't you just approve it yourself? And self-approval, right? We should all self-approve. But when it comes to doing a RunBook, that's not allowed. You can't just say, I want to delete everything. Yes, it's okay. Let's delete everything. Somebody else needs to actually verify that this RunBook needs to go, right? So the self-approval is forbidden in this case. So I just happen to have an account over here that has access to that. So we can come over here to requests, and we can see that Doug at Unscript has said, hey, can you do this? It's really important, thanks. And I can either approve it or reject it. So if I hit approve, yep, yay. Now it is off running, right? We can now come over here and see that request was approved. If we come to the executions, we can now see that Super Privileged RunBook is in progress and is running. So this sort of gives you an idea, an introduction to how the request and approval process works inside Unscript, allowing you to have RunBooks that do really privileged things or things that one person shouldn't be able to do without asking somebody else to approve it. We do this with our GitHub commits. We should probably also do that for some of these really important RunBooks. Not that everybody gets the control, but that, somebody's watching over your shoulder just to make sure that you're not doing something wrong.